Hey, hey, I'm on time. Check me out, even though my teacup is, my teacup, she overflows. Here, let me just do this. Bloop, 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 bloop. Ta-da! Hey, folks, declutterers, check it out. I just decluttered, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Um, I am here for you. German Maid 95, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am popping up. I know people on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. I said to you that you would know about the good stuff, but sometimes I just decide to do these things. And this weekend, I decided to do a TikTok pop-up thingy-majiggy because my plans, as you probably saw from different videos, my plans did not go as planned, but that's fine. I made other plans. That's what you do. You plan, you plan, you plan. And then sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Hey, since it's just a handful of us here, check it out. I'm going to walk over here so you see a little bit of my kitchen and the area that we call the nook. And I am just hottening my cup here. I am a tea drinker. For those of you who keep score or learn interesting tidbits about moi, I am drinking my tea here. But yeah, decluttering on a Sunday. How'd it go? Good morning, Ms. Prentice. Nice to see you. I will, oops, excuse me. Almost showed you my bubs. So, good morning. So, I just decluttered in my basement, and I can't wait to, I so want to share with you the stuff that I learned. There you go. You know what? Everybody in my family, except my dad, never drank coffee. He didn't drink tea either. Maybe he wasn't a hot beverage kind of guy. Everybody in my family drinks coffee except for me. I've always been awesomely different. Anywho, so did you declutter yesterday? Did you declutter today already? Are you planning on decluttering later today, this week? I have some things that are going to help you because I just went through this myself. And so if we haven't met before, I'm always liking to introduce myself. Beth, I'm a decluttering life coach. Just remember, Destination Decluttered, okay? The reason I am here is because I am hot off the presses of decluttering in my own basement. So I don't just sit up on a pedestal and say, you know what you should do? I've got it all figured out. Well, I've got a lot figured out, but a lot of it, I still am a human. I'm doing it myself. So here are some things that I want to share with you that literally are still kind of being assimilated into my own nervous system when I'm talking about decluttering. So I will open up the floor, as it were, to some comments and questions and shareables and back and forths in a smidge. But right now, while it's fresh in my mind, what I would love to do is share some insights and tips and strategies. So when you go to declutter a place that previously you had walked by and said, oh, I got to deal with that, I got to deal with that. So here's what I have to offer. When I declutter, now I took a page from my own book, even though I don't have a book of decluttering. It's all up here. And it's in these videos that I do on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I paid attention to what I suggest to you. So what did I do? I set myself a timer. First of all, I even just set myself a really rough timer that said I'm going to start here and I need to stop by then in order to shower, in order to be doing it. So I set myself a specific time frame to do it. Even within that time frame, when I was decluttering, I said I am going to set my timer so that one of two things happens. Either if I'm on a roll, it can give me kind of just a check, like okay, hey, noted, half hour has passed. Or if I was really not enjoying it, kind of like when I'm on the treadmill or something like that, I would look and say, don't worry, you only have like 7 minutes to go. You can do this for that amount of time, and then you can stop. So setting your timer is super part of the process. So do that. I bet you have a timer on your phone. I used to think I was going to use this little like kitchen timer, but I realized it went tick, 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 and that stressed me out. So I like the quiet timer. The other thing too, so saying you're going to do it externally is a tool in your toolkit. Getting specific, the day of the week you're going to do it, the time of day you're going to do it, and for how long, chunking it down and getting more specific. What do I want to say? I was on a call with a one-on-one client recently, and I said, overwhelm thrives in ambiguity. So the opposite of overwhelm is going to be to calm down, to think down, to chunk down all the downs, but also is when you get specific about things, that can help you take control where you may feel overwhelmed and out of control. Okay? Sherry Grammons, are you affordable? Depends on what your definition of affordable is. Ask any of my clients and they will say, hell yeah, affordable and even worth even more money. Other people who haven't signed up have allowed money to get in their way. You do you. You do you. I will say this though, my prices will always be increasing. I'm a business. I'm a person who lives in a world that prices increase, so mine will as well. So here's the thing: if you want to use that kind of Jedi mind trick of money, you could say, if I sign up now, this is the cheapest she'll ever be, because my prices will never go down; they will always go up. So there's that. But let me offer to you back to decluttering. So 3 layers of clutter. You've got surface, you've got stored, and you've got sentimental. Now, I specifically, because I've been decluttering for a while and I'm a life coach, decluttering life coach, I had this table, but it was packed with a lot of stuff that I myself had said, I need to make a decision on these and I'm not sure what to do. Or I knew what to do, but I just hadn't taken the next step. So what did I do? I realized that this was stored clutter. It was stored on this table, and one of the clues about stored clutter, it's stuff that doesn't take up a lot of room, but you need to spread it out so you can make decisions. You have to sort it before you store it. So that's what I did. I popped up another table, I spreaded some stuff out, and I started categorizing. Remember how we talked about categories? Started categorizing. Okay, that's a book. Oh, that's another book. That's another book. Oh, well, you know what? These books are kind of about the same topic. These ones are different. So I would spread them out and kind of categorize these things. That's, in categories that made sense to me. The other thing I noticed was some things that I put away saying I don't know what I want to do with these things. I was able to release some things to put in a box to go donate somewhere. I was also realizing there was a lot of stuff that I just didn't want these, but I didn't know. I had to remind myself of what the next step would be. So think about the next step. And then what I did was I made a decision. Oh, you know what I should do? What's the next step? And for a number of these things that I have held on to, I too have that this might be worth something monetarily or sentimentally to somebody. So then I categorize those things, and my next step will be research these items to see if they're actually worth money or if anybody else there wants them. So notice that, taking the next step. Now, I did even bring some things up to my office so I could do that. I also wrote these things down. Now, when I say write it down, I will say this. When I'm in the moment, I'm not going to be there with my notebook. However, I have an app on my phone that I can talk text myself messages, and that makes a list. So I talk text, and I said, what is it? See if the guy from the thing wants those newspapers. What else was it? There was another good one. Oh, though that bag of stuff, bring that the next time we have a bonfire because I just want to put it in the fire. What else? See if so-and-so's sister wants that copy of that magazine. I made myself a list, and each one of those is a chunk that I can do. Okay? Karen is asking what app I use. I use Trello. It's free. It's simple. I don't like things with a lot of bells and whistles because I find that I can easily get distracted from the main goal when I'm trying to be too fussy about stuff. But if I can talk into my phone and I have this kind of running list that I can then organize later, I really love Trello. It really works for me. And the other thing I did too, which is remind yourself, factor in time. So for example, I had like 2 hours, like an hour and a half to declutter because I wanted to take a shower. As soon as my half-hour timer hit, I knew that I was like, okay, you know what? I feel like I'm at a good stopping point now to then make some further decisions and also to start tidying up. So I didn't use the whole hour and a half to do declutter, and then I'm done. No, I was able to declutter, make some decisions, take some next steps, and then put things back in an orderly fashion because I don't want it spread out all the time. So don't forget to factor in kind of the cleanup time. Now, one of the things I did too, which I thought was really great, was I didn't put things back in boxes. I have them out on that table to remind me visually to do it. If I had put it back in boxes when it wasn't in my sight, I probably could have easily not forgotten how to do that. But I just want to offer to you that. What were some other things I thought of when I was doing this? It is going to, I did a quick video from where I was doing. It is, when you declutter, no matter pretty much what you do, it will look temporarily worse. Temporarily, though, before it looks permanently better. And same thing, I think, with your nervous system. It may feel temporarily worse before you feel permanently better. Now, I say that because there were two things, and I wanted to make sure that I mentioned this. There were two things that I can think of specifically that were of sentimental nature. They had stories attached to them. And because I am a decluttering life coach and I do these things so to tell you how it will go, I'm like on a road trip. I'm further ahead of you, but I'm still saying, okay, when you get to this point, what I wanted to let you know is there were two sentimental items that I threw in the trash. Yep, threw in the trash. And the reason I did that was a couple of things. One is, it was something that I looked at that was mine when I was a little kid. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And I ran through different scenarios. Like, does anybody else want it? Does it mean anything else to me? I don't really even have a lot of, I have vague memories of it. But it was one of these things that I kept for so long because I had kept it for so long. I never had any specific memories about it except that I had it. And then also I knew that it was in crappy shape, that even if my nieces and nephews ever had kids, I wouldn't want to give it to them. It's too junky to donate somewhere. So with love, mwah, put it in the trash. And guess what? I'm alive and I've survived. My nervous system is okay. I feel okay. It was temporarily worse and now I feel permanently better. Yay, that decision is made. Done. The other thing that I threw away was something that gave me a bad story, told me a bad story. As soon as I got it, I knew I didn't want it. And so I immediately put it in my basement for later. And then when I was dealing with it, I was like, no, you know what? I don't want this. This smells bad. It brings me, it doesn't remind me of anything good. It's going in the trash. I also feel good about that. But notice how when I say I feel good, that is your nervous system. That is all your nerves and your internals saying it's okay. I survived throwing away something that had a message to it. Okay? The other thing, too, is I realized that a lot of the stuff I had, here's a fun thing to think about, is think about decluttering kind of like losing weight or like carving a turkey, since we've got Thanksgivings coming up. At the very beginning, it's going to be easy. Oh, look, you put and, sorry if you're if you are a vegetarian, but it's like you pull off a wing, you pull off a leg, you cut off the easy stuff. That can be really easy when you first get started. But when you get down to the skeleton, you're really picking out little bits and pieces that are going to be, a little bit more difficult, but it's not impossible. I am literally down to the dribs and drabs of my stuff because I have decluttered so much of the easy stuff. But even now, the cool thing was I was able to pull some things out for the trash, for recycling, for donating, for following up with people if they wanted it, for researching it. So I feel really good. That half hour of decluttering my thing. It also reminded me of stuff. As I said, I found some treasures. I forgot that, I had some postcards down there. I found a few things that I think might be worth money, so I'm going to research those. It was kind of fun. It was. I love this. Amber says, as a pro organizer, I approve of this message. Yes, as a pro organizer, I also approve of this message. Okay, so I just wanted to share with everybody that even as a decluttering life coach, even as somebody who's here in your life right now on this TikTok live because you're struggling with clutter, if you weren't, you'd probably just kind of scroll away and go find, a recipe for something. But I am here for you, but I also do this myself. And I know it brings up all the feels. It does. About who you are, who you used to be, who you are, who you want to be. It activates your nervous system. It says, I can only do this and I'm done. Sentimental items will take the most energy, the most nervous system energy. I'm already spent for the day. I'm like, okay, that's good. I'm glad I did that, but I'm good. That was only a half an hour. But that was a powerful half an hour. And my basement now looks, feels, and functions better, even just because half an hour out of this entire day I spent doing that stuff. And I have a list that throughout the week I can get in touch with people, I can research, I can take those next steps. Okay? So I just wanted to mention that to you. So, looks like we've got a bunch of people here. So I'm going to take some questions. So again, if you've just joined in, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I call it Destination Decluttered because I have been a road tripper freaking all of my life. I love going on road trips that I'm excited to get to. And what I realized, it's all about the destination. If you are not excited about where you're going, it's a commute. It's like going to work. But if you're excited to get somewhere, that's a destination. You have your eyes on that destination, and you will do things. You will put up with stuff that you wouldn't put up with if you were, or you enjoy the journey. So think about that. And that's why I say, when you get excited about your destination, what do you want your home to look like? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your home and life to feel like when you're in them? Write this stuff down, people. It's good stuff. Write these things down. I'm here to help you get that way. I am like a Sherpa. I am like a tour guide. I have been on this road myself with my paying clients, when helping, family. This is my wheelhouse. The road tripification of decluttering, so that when you walk around your house, wherever you look, I've got a few crappy things, I'm whatever, but you feel good when you look at your house, and I just want you to feel good. I want you to feel better than you do now. Okay? There we go. I love it. So Toby One Kenobi says, got rid of it and cleaned up a bunch of brush and debris too. I love it. My clutter overflowed to the yard, cardboard waiting to recycle, and yesterday I tackled it. Yeah, you know what I did yesterday? Because it was such a beautiful day today. Today I knew the day wasn't going to be, weather-wise, it wasn't going to be good. I did the same thing. We had a giganto couple of boxes in the garage, so I took a box cutter there and chopped them down, and I did that myself for the recycle. So yay, Toby. Yay, me. Okay? And I love this. Toby's saying, small successes. It felt really good to get it done. That's why we do this, to feel good. Even a small success is a success. Doesn't matter. Still feels good to your body. Still feels good to your nervous system. Feeling that sense of accomplishment. A Liz Lemon high five, a Tina Fey, you got that. Okay? Yeah, Ladderock ADT, my 95-year-old mom's clutter is in every room, including her kitchen. Yeah, that can be tough. That can be tough. I will offer a couple of words of suggestion to help you through that. Make a plan for yourself. Kind of like, actually, if you were on yesterday's TikTok Live, I do have ones that are scheduled. These ones this weekend were pop-ups because I wasn't supposed to be home, but I am. Make a plan for yourself. What plan for her stuff is going to make you feel good? Because at 95, she probably isn't changing her ways. But you can start to make a plan so that when the inevitable happens with her, you don't feel blindsided by, oh, what do I got to do with all this stuff? The reason I mentioned yesterday's TikTok Live is because one of the things I suggested about doing some decluttering today is, instead of going in and just, go in like a treasure hunt. What are the things that you want that light up a green light in your heart when you go to your mom's house? If anything, it doesn't have to be. You can say, I don't want any of her stuff, and no, there's no judgment here. But go in there saying, what's important to me, and especially because right here, I'm your coach. I'm here for you. I'm not here for your mom. Everybody, I'm here for you right now, not nobody else. This is how I coach. And what I want to say is, make sure that the stuff that you take is something you actually want in your home. Where are you going to put it? Where are you going to display it? How are you going to store it? If you make those decisions in your head before you even bring it home and don't delay it and say, I'll figure out later, it may help you just ensure that your own home that you're going to live in until you're 95 looks and feels and functions like you want it to. Okay? But yeah, the older generations, even those of us who were brought up with people from generations that had a different relationship with stuff, with money, with clutter, with ownership, with things, with shopping. So many things play into why we can be surrounded by stuff that doesn't light us up but drags us down. Okay? Yeah, you have to make a mess to get through the mess. Yep. Philly Rolls. Hey, Philly Rolls. Any specific tips for decluttering ADHD? Yes, Philly Rolls. I have ADHD in my family. I have clients who have ADHD. I probably have it myself, but I don't really label myself that way because I love the way I work with my brain. So maybe I have just arranged a way of processing in order to get the results I want. But here's a few things that have helped me, my clients, and the people I know with ADHD. Dopamine. What do I mean by that? It's something that somebody with an ADHD brain doesn't automatically easily do, so you got to generate it yourself. Set your timer. Celebrate your wins all over the place. Get excited about the destination. Realize what's in it for you. I know myself. I don't want to do anything if I don't see why am I even doing this? If the why makes sense to me, because I'm going to feel better in my house, I'm going to do that. Chunk things down into smaller bits, but also if you tend to kind of to go down a rabbit hole and you like to get into the zone, as I like to call it, then make sure that you have the time for that and indulge in that to get some stuff done. But also set your timer so that you aren't like all of a sudden like 2 hours in and then you lift your head and you're like, oh my God, that's right, I have to go do something, and then it's all over the place. Set your timer so you have time to tidy up. The other thing too is work with your brain. Put things in a place that makes sense to you. What else? Chunk things down. Be nice to yourself. Work with your brain, not against it. And get curious about where your processes don't work for you and start to create new processes. That's what I mainly do as a coach, is I observe. I listen so hard to you. I concentrate on you. Isn't that a Cole Porter song? And I want to say, it's like, so when did that not work? What happened? And it's like, if you got distracted, what made you go distracted and keep on distracting versus coming back to what you were doing? Okay, there we go. Ashley is saying, hi, how do I manage so many clothes in different sizes based on body changes? Well, Ashley, I'll offer this. Right now, your body is probably just one of those sizes, right? You've got, I always like to invoke Goldilocks. You've got your too small clothes, you've got your too big clothes, and you've got your just right clothes. So anything that's not currently fitting your current body in the present, what I would say is categorize that. Here are my clothes that are too small. Here are my clothes that are too big. And then if you decide you want to get bigger or smaller, either donate the stuff you don't want, and then if you want to get to that other size, maybe store it away, but put a date on it to give yourself the opportunity to change the size of your body if you care to. Okay, but right now, I like to, when I'm a coach, I am a coach. When I'm coaching, I like to talk about the past, because that's where all our stuff came from. The present, where you and I are here right today, October 29th, 2023, 11:22 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the future. The future could be like 11:30. And your future decades, this year, next year, next year, next year. So ask yourself, I know I fit into those clothes before. Here I am today. Do I want to fit into them now and in the future? And if the answer is yes, you do some things. And if the answer is no, you do some things. But get comfortable with who you are today. I will tell you that since I have been decluttering kind of in real life, as I'm going through these videos, I am becoming so much more comfortable with, hey, you know what? This is just how my body is. And I'm not shaming myself and I'm not beating myself up. And I am learning after decades to just freaking love my body. And if that isn't empowering, I don't know what is. So try it. You like it. Okay. Elevated experience. Oops. Sorry. Everything just kind of zooped in front of me. So I'm going to back up here. I love it when people are here. A couple of things. If you haven't followed my TikTok page, that would be really cool if you did. I do videos often. And I do TikTok lives. There's actually a schedule of them pinned to the top of my my page. And what else? Oh, Destination Decluttered email mailing list. It's just where all the cool stuff happens. And it's free. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Okay. And thank you, everybody, for chatting amongst each other, helping each other out while I'm trying to help one person. Okay. There we go. What do we have here? Okay. And one of the reasons, let me just say this too, is you as you're reading this, you probably see the comments that are going by. And I love it when people are sitting there helping people. But two things. One is the reason that I reread the questions and then answer them is because these TikTok lives, I upload to YouTube, Destination Decluttered on YouTube, so you can listen to them later when you're decluttering, things like that. The other thing too is many people say, hey, it becomes like a really kind of Pavlov's dog type of thing. When I see that you're doing a TikTok live, I will carry my phone around with me. I'll put you on an earbud. I'll put you on a speaker, and I will just get up and move around and declutter while I'm doing it. If I could declutter and chat with you at the same time, I would, to show you that it's kind of body doubling. ADHD people, body doubling really helps. Is getting somebody that's doing it at the same time you are. But right now, could you actually put down your device and still listen to me and then tidy up where you are? And, do things that are going to make you feel better in 35 minutes at noontime. Okay? What do we have? I have items from my parents' home that I've been too fragile and attached to throwing away. It's time. Notice that. When it needs to be the right time for you. Can you make it the right time for you? And because your parents love those things, that's okay. You loved your parents. You don't have to love their stuff. There may be somebody out there in the world, like a bunch of stuff I have downstairs. I'm like, this stuff doesn't do it for me anymore, but somebody else might want it. Okay? I love it. Thank you for saying the timer's working. Task initiation is tough. I will say this. Task initiation is just like 1, 2, 3, go. I mean, who is it? Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I get that goofy song going through my head. But just start. Just start. Literally, if you feel paralyzed, move your body around. Pick up one thing. Just start the engine. Get it going. As soon as you do that, you'll warm up and you'll do it. Okay? All right. Okay, thank you very much for helping people. Thank you for liking my content. Ooh, I love it. Poppy Ade says, my game changer was shifting to curating my house instead of collecting and decorating. That's kind of where I am now, too. For decades, I was a collector. I grew up in a collector household. I used to see people's collections and be like, oh, that's so cool. And it was good until it wasn't. It was fun until it became overwhelming and dragging me down. And even right now, there's collections down the basement that I'm like, I just don't want these things anymore. I'm in a different chapter of my life, and that's okay. Figure out what chapter you're in now, and what do you want your future chapters to look and feel like. I love the fact that when I'm going through this stuff right now, it's making my life feel better right now. It's going to make my life feel better in the future. And also, it will make it so much easier when I move, if I move. If my nieces and nephew have to clean out my house after I pass, there'll be fewer things. And I also have changed my habits, so I do not collect stuff and bring things into the house unless I have really thought it through. And then if I do, and then I change my mind, I immediately am okay with letting it go back out, kind of throwing it back in, catch and release. It's like fishing, okay? There we go. Thank you for letting me know that you love my content. So everybody, this means a lot to me that I know that I'm connecting up with people, because I know what it's like to not find somebody who kind of gets where you're at. And they're trying their best, but they're saying it in a way that just doesn't resonate with you. I know how much of a difference it meant to me to hear somebody speak about self-help, about decluttering, about getting your life together in a way that resonated with me. And because it felt doable and she made it funny and I felt connected, I took action and it made a difference. So I endeavor to be that person. Now, I know I may not be that for everybody, but man, I love it when I am told that what I'm doing is working, because it makes me show up more. It makes me also want to offer more coaching, because I do one-on-one coaching with people. I love doing my mailing list. It's so many things that I love, but I wouldn't do it if nobody said, thank you for the two-way street. I love helping it, okay? There we go. Guami is saying, I struggle with my clothes and my kids' clothes. I'm always stressed and looking at my apartment. Okay, yeah, I will say this, because Philly Rolls mentioned the changing of the season. And Philly Rolls, I don't know if you're in the Philly area. I'm in the Philly area. Yesterday it was like 80 degrees and sunny. It was like summer out. And today's a little bit more seasonable for late October. So yes, the transition times are always going to be awkward. So just know that is part of the process. But what I want to offer to everybody is look at the quantity of clothing you have. Do you wear all of the clothing you have? That is of the size you fit. And if you don't wear it, get curious. Sorry, my notes keeps on itching today. Maybe that means I'm going to win the lottery. Get curious why you're not wearing those clothes. Try them on to remind yourself why you're not wearing them. And if you're not wearing them and they don't feel good and they don't look good, pass them along. The fewer items you have, the easier it's to take care of everything. Kids' clothes, your clothes, dishes, everything. The fewer items you have, the fewer things you have to clean, the fewer things you have to dust, the fewer things you have to just pay attention to. I'm not saying go minimalist, but I'm not, and become a monk or something like that. But oftentimes the quantity of items really just makes things even more overwhelming. Okay? All right? Tripophobic misanthrope says, hardest part with OCD decluttering my house is my ADD husband. Yeah, that's a alphabet soup right there, isn't it? But you know what? I bet you have a commonality. There are things that you can agree upon. When you're decluttering with somebody else, that is a challenge in itself. My husband hasn't been home for the last couple of days because he was away playing music. I stayed home. But also, just you can pay attention to your own stuff, not the shared things, and then find a way. There's a way. I coach. Here's a fun thing. I coach couples. I will say, if both people in the relationship want to declutter and they just don't know how because they haven't done it before, I coach one-on-one. I say one-on-one, but it's actually couples. The other kind of couple I was thinking about recently is like if you are the daughter or son, or I don't know what you call that, the child, the child of somebody who is cluttered, and that person wants to declutter but is afraid to do it on their own or something. I would totally do like coaching with like, a mom and a daughter, a mom and a son and a dad, like all the combos there. It doesn't have to be just one person. And that might encourage somebody, when you both learn something, okay? But notice that when you learn how to declutter your own stuff, you will have a better understanding of the struggles that other people have with their things, okay? What else do we have? Oh, I love it. So Bonnie is saying, treasure hunt update. Because I said yesterday, treasures. What treasures did you find? I found a TJ Maxx gift card and my favorite raincoat just before a rainy day. See? Decluttering is like a treasure hunt. What did I find? Yeah, as I said, I found something that reminded me that, I want to look this up. This could be worth money. I found an envelope that said, family history stuff from mom circa, 2021. I have a box of my family history stuff, but this was in the middle of like random stuff. It was in the middle of some like blank greeting cards and like a blank envelope. So I put that closer. I put that with the family history stuff. So I love it, Bonnie, that you did a thing, Okay. Somebody is saying something about paper clutter is awful. I'm not a filer. I'm a piler. I have a really easy way of filing stuff, which is to put it in a box. And if you need it, you know where it is. But here's something that I want to suggest to everybody. It's kind of a life coachy thing, but I'm a life coach. How you talk about something is how it will be for you. If you say paper clutter is awful, then you're going to think it's awful because you just said it. It's going to make you feel awful. You're not going to want to do it. So no, you're not going to want to do it. And then it piles up and it feels awful. Notice the self-fulfilling prophecy here. Notice how it gets you stuck. When you stop calling it awful and say, you know what? I'm going to get curious about why do I think this is so awful. How about paper clutter is easy? Paper clutter can be easy. Paper clutter, excuse me. I'm all over the place today. Paper clutter can be very easy because it is categorizable. Here's sentimental stuff. Here's medical bills. Here's, Pico bills. Here's stuff for whatever. There's ways you can categorize it and chunk down the overwhelm. When you say this is not awful, this can be fun, I love how I feel when I've gotten this stuff done, notice how just talking to yourself differently about the project can change how you feel about it. And when you feel better, you're more likely to go and do it. There we go. Katie is saying, I have about 3 doom baskets of paper clutter right now. Katie, how about this? You said you have 3. How about one of them today? How about one of them even just this week? You say, okay, I'm going to schedule my time, just like I did. I'm going to schedule a day, and then a time of the day, and then an hour, and then I'm going to go through it and realize it's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Man, our brains want to make things so dramatic. It's just paper. It's just paper. And you know what's just paper too? Money. Money is paper. You feel different. What if all that clutter was dollar bills, y'all? It's just paper. Paper is what you make of it. Notice that. I love it. Yesterday's tip of treasure hunt was my dopamine. Yeah, mine too, because I said I got to show up talking to people about, what treasures I was going to find. I found a painting that I think might be worth some money. I found a tray that might be worth some money. I found a little sculpture-y thing that might be worth some money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the next step. If you think you have some stuff, it's in your clutter, that you think might be worth something, today, let's all get onto eBay and just do a Google search and see, or Google search, or an eBay search to see what sold, how much did it sell for, and, kind of test the winds to say, is it going to be worth my time to get this to a home, to make some money off of this? Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no, but that information will make that next decision easier. I had a sweater that I bought literally in the 90s. It wasn't the 80s. I had a sweater I bought for maybe $6, maybe $9. It was expensive at the Salvation Army in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. And I wore it for a while, and then I didn't wear it, and then I grew out of it, but I knew it was really cool. I ended up selling it for $300 to somebody a couple of years ago. That is a rare instance for me. If I looked it up and it was worth $10, I might just donate it to my local thrift store. But when I saw that this was a specific kind of sweater and I could sell it, I took the extra steps. It was kind of a pain in the butt, actually. But I'm the kind of person that there are certain things, if I have the bandwidth, I want it to go to a good home. I do have the time to do those things. If I didn't, I would just donate it and say, hey, you know what? I had a lot of fun with this and I found it at a thrift store. Let me throw it back into the wild and see if somebody else has a delight. There we go. I love it. Katie just said, I've started the song in my head. It's okay. Just throw it away. It's been working well. Hey, mantras. Notice the thoughts in your head. Notice the words in your head can make you feel better and they make you feel like not better. So also notice Danielle Green is saying, my mother threw away everything, so I hesitate to throw away anything. Notice that you have thoughts and feelings and nervous system reactions about stuff because what happened to you in your past. Notice that. When you notice, that's when you realize, why am I reacting this way? Oh, it's because I felt a certain way when my mother threw away everything. How can I take that info and not necessarily hesitate, but get clear, heal that, so that I can move forward with the stuff that I want to keep? Okay, there we go. All right, what do we have? I'm going to back it up here. You asked me yesterday to check in, says Carrie. We found $12 extra school supplies and pictures. Love it, $12. That's awesome. Very cool. There we go. I have two teenage. Oh, okay, love this. So many people doing such good stuff. And thank you for helping each other out on this thing, okay? What else do we have? I want to just read some good stuff here to people. Hey, there we go. Lauren from Massachusetts. I was up there last week. The weather was lousy, and now I heard it was beautiful this weekend. So crazy. All right. There we go. Sorting all my clothes today. Okay. Just for me, the reason I'm stopping here, when you say I'm sorting all my clothes today, all to me is a very all or nothing, a declarative statement. How about notice how it might make it more approachable if you say, I'm sorting through some of my clothes today? Don't make the goal so high that you miss all the little incremental wins that you get along the way. Say, I'm gonna set my timer and sort through my clothes for an hour and see how far I get. All of your clothes, that to me sounds overwhelming. When I feel overwhelmed, I will feel bad if I don't do all of it. So some of my clothes, did you do some? Yeah, I did some. Okay, you won. Okay. Okay. Notice this. Kringle is saying, how would you deal with a roommate that fills every space you clear? I would have a conversation with them. They may not be aware that they're even doing it, or that they might be aware that they're doing it, but unless you tell them it's a problem, they may not know it's a problem to you. Now, I have a roommate. He's called my husband. And I know I probably do things that annoy him, and he does things that annoy me, but I am always grateful to learn what I'm doing unknowingly so I can change my behavior, because I don't want to annoy him. On the flip side, I always, I try with gentle kindness to say, hey, you know what? I know this sounds really simple, but this little thing you do, could you just do it slightly differently? It's just really bugs me how you always are leaving, like the recycle can from your little Diet Coke or Coke Zero over here at the thing where all you need to do is put it in the thing. Have a conversation with them, everybody. Anybody who you live with, anybody who has clutter that is impacting you, first of all, realize that's all you. Work on yourself first, but also have a conversation with them, but notice your energy, notice your vibe. Don't come at it judgy. Come at it with curiosity and love. Okay? There we go. What else? Oh, thank you for all the follows. If anybody hasn't followed me, Destination Decluttered. I only got 20 minutes left here. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered. I'm a decluttering life coach. Thank you for following my page. I have an email mailing list that all the good stuff happens on. I do a monthly free group Zoom just for people on the mailing list. That has already been announced to the people on the list. If you want to join the list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. I do one-on-one coaching too. If you're interested in that, go to my website, Destination Decluttered. There's an orange button there that says work with me. Sign up for a consultation. I work in 10-week programs, and 1, 2, 3, as many in a row that gets you to where you want to go to. Okay, there we go. Dr. 3Zoo88 is saying, is it okay to just give away things that you know have value, but you don't want to deal with selling stuff? Hell yeah. Yeah. Do what feels right to you. Notice when I say that, I'm talking about not just up here, but what feels right to your nervous system. If you say to yourself, I don't want to deal with selling stuff, I know that feeling. I used to sell so much more than I do now, and it was fun. I'm always like, it was fun until it wasn't. And I am lucky because my sister is still in selling mode, so a lot of the stuff that I had that I could sell, I've done like flea markets and yard sales and stuff online. I have sold a lot of stuff because I accumulated a lot of stuff. But what I've done now is I will sell very few things. I like donating things to places that I know are going to make money off of it, and I believe in their cause. But then I've also changed my habits that I just don't bring in the stuff as much as I used to. That I might have to do that. Okay? Yay, I'm glad that user 1963 came to the realization about your body. It feels so much better to love your body. Yeah, I'm telling you, people, getting empowered by that is a game changer. All right, what else do we have here? Try to get the important papers down to one box. Oh, somebody organized it 4 years ago. Yeah, I will say this. Notice that a lot of the papers you may save may be available electronically elsewhere. The other thing is, what else? Yeah. Only save the stuff that you think you're really going to need. Like if you're going to get audited by the IRS, if you need to prove that you bought something for insurance purposes, that's family history, that's, maybe medical history, just get really clear on what you're saving, paper-wise, okay? Let's see, what do we have here? I love this. Just for me, I have 2 teenage girls. We just took 6 garbage bags full of clothes to donate. It's ridiculous. I think it's awesome, actually, that you did that. But notice the quantity of clothing. Notice how they didn't need that many. So notice that when you go out shopping again. It's not just a one-way street. When I do coaching with people, I will share this with you. It's like everybody, we all think all I need to do is reduce the quantity of items that have accumulated. You need to do that and change your habits, your daily habits, your shopping habits. If you don't do that, it's just going to reclutter again. Darlene says, I remember hearing, maybe it was you, I don't know, if you don't downsize, you will always be managing stuff. Yeah, I love the fact that the stuff in my home functions well. I have very incremental things that I can zhuzh up about this place. So therefore, I have a maximum amount of time to go out into the world and do things that I want to do. And the funny thing is when I say go out into the world and do things that I want to do, sometimes what I want to do is stay inside and flop down and read a book. I want to take a walk. I want to hang out with my friends. It doesn't have to be like, anything grandiose, but maximizing the amount of time you have because you're not managing your stuff all the time is great. Okay. What else do we have? Okay. Yeah, there we go. I need to throw away the electricity bills from 10 years ago. Why do I still have them? Oops, I don't know. Don't beat yourself up about it, but say, I don't want them anymore, and then recycle them. What else do we have? Okay. See, Gabby says, every time I see you live, it makes me want to start decluttering. So, Gabby, you got like 16 minutes here. Why don't you just do that, okay? It makes me declutter, makes me want to declutter. Ask what's stopping you. There we go. Oh, Amanda, I didn't go through with my plans. No treasures for me. Notice that. No plans, no treasure. I make plans. I have a life full of treasures. And I say that, Amanda, to ask yourself, get curious. And it's not a judgmental question. It's a curiosity question. Get curious with yourself why you didn't go through with your plans. Maybe your plan didn't work out with the time you had. Don't judge yourself about it. Show up, make a plan, find a treasure. There we go. Just for me and mine says, I have 3 totes of pics and old papers that I can't go through because my abusive ex is in the pic too. How about this? Go through them and freaking tear up the pictures with him in it. How good would that feel? How powerful would that feel? Notice that his way of acting still has power over you because it is stopping you from opening that box. Now, I know, everybody's got their stories a little bit different, but I think there's power in cutting up the picture with the crappy person in it. What do we have that? My kids are affected by it. I have to get clean instead of play with them. Yeah. I've developed the philosophy that 2 things have to go out for everyone that comes in. Yeah. Find what works for you. Okay. If I carry it in, I have to carry it back out. This mantra has helped me a lot. Yeah. Maybe it's because I see the end of I see people dealing with this stuff and it's like, oh my gosh, if I keep on doing this, I'm just going to have to deal with a lot. Okay. What do we have? Okay. I'm so ashamed because depression makes it so hard to keep clean and I have a son who lives in it. Okay, what I would say is this. Shame is an unhelpful feeling that stops you from doing things would make your life better. If you have depression, I say this with just love for you as a fellow human being, get the help you need for your depression. That will make things easy. But shame and judgment and guilt and things like that, they are unhelpful feelings caused by certain thoughts and whatever's going on that stop you from doing the things. So take the next step and get some help, okay? Notice that. Don't phase. A player says, I have a bag of clothes that I won't wear but can't give away. You can give it away, but you're not giving it away. I don't know why. If I asked you what the answer was, could you pause and ask, what's the thought? What's the thought that comes up when I ask you? Besides, I don't know why. I don't know to me, is like the toss away thing that allows our brain to think that we're giving an answer. So to me, that's like, I guess, what is it? Golf is like a mulligan. Like that one doesn't even count. I don't know. And after you get that out of the way, what if you did know? What could you guess? Could you fathom a guess as to why you won't give away those clothes? I love it because right up here, I had a room piled full of clothes, took a couple hours to go through, donated a bunch and it felt good. How about one item from that bag of clothes? Donate that, pull one out, see how it feels, put it in a donation bag. Did you die? How was your nervous system? Regulate your nervous system. It's a lot of it is noticing how these things make you feel and noticing it's making you feel something that may be like danger or fear or anxiety, but noticing that feeling and then saying, you know what, it's just a shirt. It's not like a saber-toothed tiger is going to come get me. This is in allowing your body to feel you're right. It is just a shirt. It's nothing to be afraid of. And then even noticing how it feels to put it in that bag. All right. That's how it felt. Put it in the bag. I'm alive. This is okay. Shake it off. And then be proud of yourself for doing even that one thing. When you realize it's okay, that it feels safe in your nervous system to declutter, that's when you're going to be able to say, oh, that was keeping me stuck, was that fear of whatever. And when you learn about that, you're going to be able to get rid of a lot of things. Like, I was afraid, somebody's going to get mad at me if I throw away this thing. I don't care. Okay? Oh, curiosity. Did you say with curiosity and wealth? Did I say? No, I probably didn't. Curiosity, just curiosity and just love for yourself. Curiosity and compassion. All right, what do we have? Ooh, we only got 12 minutes left. Why didn't I get a notification of your live? Okay, you know what, user 1963, this was a pop-up. It wasn't scheduled. I don't know why you didn't get a notification of it. If you do, you do follow my page. You'd have to ask TikTok. TikTok has done a lot of great things for me, getting to meet people like this. I don't know, but they're wonky, just like all sorts of technology. It's like, because I coach people, just so you know too, when I coach people, I coach on Zoom. So I embrace the technology. It's fun because I have clients all over the world. Oh, well, I say over the world. I'm looking at a world map right now. I have clients all over the country, which would be impossible without technology. Yeah, I have old receipts and empty boxes and bags that I've saved for years. Can't throw them out. You can. You just don't want to. There's something in you that says don't throw it away. Have a conversation with that part of you. Why not? What's going to happen to me if I throw these things away? Get curious. I love it. How would you organize a lot of books and journals that you know you have too much of? It depends on if they're written in or not. It depends on if they're just your own things. Do you want to keep them or not? I have mine in boxes. I have a nice little tidy little thing in the basement of my own archives that I know at a certain point, probably in my 90s, I'm going to like look through, like I'm going to do it in, 70s, 80s, 90s. I will go through these things, read them and throw them in a pyre, a funeral pyre. But notice a place that is out of the way, that you want to keep them, that if they're paper, put them in a plastic tote. You don't want them to get crappy because of water damage or anything. Okay. Megan 6, that's a clever idea. They're saying, I'm in a declutter mode, but no car. So a lot of donate sell boxes end up by the door until I can Uber. What a cool thing to do. That never even occurred to me, but props to you for creating a solution to your problem, saying, I'm not even going to let my lack of a car stop me from doing the decluttering. Okay. I love it that Laura is saying it is so much easier to just post in my Buy Nothing group than to try and sell it. Everybody notice, the thing I recommend for all of you is to say to you, because you know your life and your situation and where you live and if you have a car or not, and if you're in a Buy Nothing group, what's the easiest way for you? What's the way that when you say, I want this out of my life, and the easiest way for it to get out of my life is to do X? What's the easiest thing for you? Do the easy. I am all about the easy. I am. I don't want you to be too convoluted, taking too many steps. You do you, but you know your life better than I do. And you say to yourself, don't overcomplicate it. Do not overcomplicate. Ask yourself, what's the easiest way for me to get rid of this stuff? And it can change depending upon what the thing is. But then the easier it is, the easier it's going to be for you to do it. Okay? What else do we have here? I have clothes I wear in a pile outside closets and drawers because no room in them. You know what? GGX 2000. It's notice the stuff that's hanging out in your, it's almost like, I think of somebody, I remember once with a client, we were talking about her stored clutter, and I'm thinking specifically in like your drawers, in your closet, that's real estate. So what you have right now is squatters. Everybody, you've got squatters. You've got clothes you don't wear hanging out in the drawers you want. So then the good stuff, the good people are out hanging out, without a home. Get the squatters out. The clothing that you do not wear is getting in the way of the clothing you do wear. If you're not wearing it, have a conversation with yourself. Ask yourself, why I'm not wearing this. Go through the process. What is this thing? Do I want it or not? If the answer is yes, where do I put it? If the answer is no, where do I put it? It's as simple as that. And what I will say is, but notice that you are living on top because you haven't made decisions about the stuff that's in the drawers. And also, it's a quantity and quality thing. If your drawers can only fit, 20 shirts and you have 40 and you wear all 40 of them, well, then it's a math problem. If you want the result of being, I want all of my shirts to fit in a drawer, and my drawer only fits 20 things, it's like a math problem. Then how many shirts do I need to donate in order to make that happen? Okay, notice that. I love it. Somebody's saying they're decluttering after listening to me. I love it. That's why I show up. Somebody just said I'm right about everything. Could you talk to my husband about that? Okay, here we go. I think my drawers are empty, but the clothes are all in front because I forgot to organize it. Well, you just remembered right now. After I am only on here for 7 more minutes, go in and start fixing it. I just have too much. Squatters are getting evicted. Thank you. Yeah, I just have too much. Isn't it great? You guys, never forget that having clutter you're lucky to have clutter. And I say this because you have an abundance. You have too much. You have more than enough. Enough is like right here. Okay, enough is right here. You have too much. Too much. And when you knock it down, you're going to feel like I have just the right amount. It's like Goldilocks. Okay? There we go. Yeah. Never felt the spark of joy, but definitely felt the opposite and let it go. Yeah, spark of joy is the green light in your heart. The just letting it go is the red light that says, no, get rid of it. Your body does this every day. And yellow, the yellow light in the middle is kind of like when you're in your traffic and you have to have a conversation with yourself. Should I stay or should I go? Do I want this or not? And then sitting with that and saying, okay, does this decision lead to my destination decluttered or not? Okay. See, there we go. Christina Ann says, I just got up and did 10 minutes of decluttering because you popped up on my FYP. That's why I like to pop up on your FYP. I do have some Destination Decluttered TikTok lives that are, I don't always do them on the weekends, because oftentimes my life that I've created for myself, my Destination Decluttered, has me doing other things during the weekends. But I do schedule TikTok lives, and you'll see that if you are on my mailing list, you've already been emailed, and you know which ones I'm doing for the next week or so. That I also put a video pinned to the top of my Destination Decluttered Facebook, where the heck am I? TikTok page. So if you follow my page, you should be notified about when those are. You can also look at it and like factor it in, see if you can make them. And so, yeah, I love it. I really love it when people actually take what I say and put it into action, because that means you are making a life that you love. Okay, notice that. Gila Rio says, I was meant to see this today. Thank you. You're welcome. The universe sent me. The universe sent me, you guys. Emptied the last doom box in my office, now working on the desk. German Maid 95, I love it. Do you think the one in, one out rule works for buying new things? Yes, I do. Yeah, because unless you change your habits, you are going to reclutter. It's as simple as that. So ask yourself, if you already have one, why are you going to buy a new one? Is it because the other one doesn't work as well? Is it because it's a different color? Is it because you need two of them? Get curious about why you want to buy them. I mean, I'm a human being. I go out and shop. What was it? I'm trying to think recently. I almost bought something, and I realized it was just basically an upgraded version of what I have, but what I have is fine. Oh, I think it was like a bed frame. I was in IKEA last night looking for a solution to something, and I was like, oh, we could get that. I'm like, or we could just use what we have and use that money for a plane ticket. Oh, and Linny is laughing at Doombox, but I want to share with everybody, unless you have ADHD, you may not know this acronym. Doom, which also sounds like, oh my God, I have to do it, is also an acronym. It's didn't organize, only moved. Doombox. So maybe you have a Doombox or a Doom bag or a tray or something like that. All right. Do you keep your summer and winter clothes in the same closet? I don't. I have very small closets. What I do is, actually, no, I stand corrected, because I have very few hanging clothes in both seasons. So they do fit. And what I do is with my folding clothes is I will take my out of season folding clothes. I have 2 plastic totes, and I put those things in there, and then put my winter folding things in my bureau, and then flip it when the seasons change, so that when it gets warmer out, I will then take the heavy stuff, put them in those 2 totes. But you have to do what feels right to you, that functions, that makes sense to you. And I love it. Somebody says, Polnid Chick is saying, I had a quilt made out of sentimental t-shirts. I did that too. I still noticed when I was down in the basement today that both my husband and I have totes that have other sentimental t-shirts on them. We may need to revisit those. But we're at a good place right now. Like, I don't feel the urgency. Like, a lot of the decluttering I am doing, honestly, like, I'm cool with how my home looks and feels and functions, and my life looking and feeling and functioning like it does. But I know there's always work to be done. But I do a lot of this to remind me and to remind you that I'm a human, that I have these things too. That there's going to be a level that you get to where you're like, okay, I'm cool with this. Sure, I could technically do more, but I am good with what I have right now. And then I'm going to go live my life. And if something else changes, I will change that too. Okay. Yep, simplifying. There we go. Little by little, love it. Always indecisive, just need to get better at decision making. Boom. Nail on the head. It's all decision making. It is, and this is a good thing. Decision making is a habit. Decision making is a muscle. The more decisions you make, the stronger your decision making muscle gets. And I want to leave you with this. When you make a decision, when you have your destination, when you say, this is what I call it, I always go back to the basics. And I love to wrap up with this. Think about destination decluttered. What is a destination that you're excited to get to, where your home looks the way you want it to look, where your life feels like you want it to feel when you come into your home and when you're out just in the world, and when it functions like you want it to function? Write that stuff down. Get off of the phone after I sign off in a minute, and write down, I want my home to look like this. I want my life to look like this. I want my home to feel, look, feel, and function. Write that stuff down. That's the reason why you're doing all these things, is when you get excited about the destination, you show up and you will do things that, unless you're, to me, if I'm not excited about it, I'm not going to do it. when I see there's something in it for me, that I am going to feel better. If you went back and you looked through all these comments, you will see the common thread of people saying, I decluttered and it made me feel better. I decluttered and it made me feel better. Even a little bit and I feel better. It felt so good when I'm not doing it so, Martha Stewart comes to your house and says, oh, this is awesome. Or she, writes you a ticket because it's not up to her standards. No, we do this to feel good, to feel better than we do now. And if you feel good with your life right now, rock on. But if you don't, and clutter is jamming you up, follow me. Do the things. I'm here to help you, okay? Notice that. Oh, Swanee says, I worked with Beth in August to September and it changed my life. I'm so thankful I found her. Oh, Kim, so nice to hear from you. I love my clients. I really do. I am blessed. And I'm not one of those people who says I'm blessed a lot, but gosh, I have been so freaking lucky to work with some awesome people. So it's nice to see you, Kim. And I would love anybody else, if you want me as your coach. I work in 10-week segments or 10 sessions. It's just a really good opportunity to get somebody who is there for you, just for you. I show up and all I do is listen to you. Maybe nobody else in your life listens to you. I listen to you, and then I don't just, but then we make a plan. We make a plan and we make it doable and fun so you see the results you want and you learn how to do it yourself. I think of myself as kind of part travel guide and part like driver's ed teacher. I'm teaching you a skill that you don't know how to do it that well, but the more you practice it, the easier it gets. And then it's something you're going to do, like driving a car for the rest of your life, is making decisions and saying, what do I want in my life and how do I get there? And I make decisions that get me closer to it every day. Alrighty, you guys. I am taking my time. Picklehead, is this religion-based? Oh, hell no. No. I mean, religious people, you do your thing. I do this for the love of it. And also my paying clients, because every single one of my paying clients has found me through TikTok, so I show up, okay? And you do you, and the world needs to be filled with more people who are loving their lives and doing awesome things because of it, okay? I will see you. I don't even know when I'm doing my next TikTok live. It's tomorrow morning. It's tomorrow morning, so I will see you. And if you didn't do any decluttering today, go and look for some treasures in your house, and also notice the stuff that doesn't register as a treasure, and maybe it's something you can declutter. I don't know, but do it to make yourself feel better because you deserve to feel good. Okay, I love it. What time tomorrow, Beth? Yes, I believe it's 8 a.m. Eastern. Look on I'm going to actually look and see what I did on the video that I posted, because I have it written down in between here. Okay. Depression into clutter. Yeah. Work on the clutter. It'll help your depression. If you have depression, get the mental health help you need. That will also help with your clutter. Okay. Yeah. That was my Pee Wee Herman laugh. You got it. Alrighty, thank you for Measured Macros. See, we're all taking care of each other here. Thank you for looking after me. It is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will see everybody, and go drive towards a life you love, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Bye.